Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Improbable Tales of Survival by Salmonella Academy. I've been really enjoying his videos. They're funny, they're educational, and I'm so excited to see what he has in store today. So here we go.
Dashlane for sponsoring this video. Hey kids, the human spirit is a very powerful thing. With the right temperament, it can allow us to survive things you wouldn't believe. However, some people are stronger than others. For example, I've never so much as broken a bone in my life. Haven't been hospitalized since that first time 20 years ago. So I'm like 90% certain if I'm ever forced to dance with death, my soul's pussying out to the great beyond. On the other end of the spectrum, you got guys like Phineas Gage. Gage was a 25-year-old railroad worker in mid-19th century Vermont. He and his crew were busy gang blasting rock to prepare the road bed for
Gang blasting? What is
this
gang
involves
blasting?
a big hole being drilled into the ground, filled with gunpowder, and packed down using a tamping iron. Well, being the gentleman and scholar that he is, Gage decides to lean forward and look directly into the hole, right?
Don't
now,
do
the
that.
first rule of gun safety is to never look down the front of a gun. Everyone knows that. Gage basically just turned the earth into a gun and decided to put his head right in front of its gaping barrel. And wouldn't you know it, the powder goes off. The tamping iron shoots up into his cheek, moseys right on through his frickin' brain, and goes soaring out the other side, landing 80 feet away, all smeared with blood and thought juice. Now, by and large, Gage should have dropped dead immediately and been thrown into a ravine for his blatant disregard for OSHA regulations, and that would have been the end of it. But I guess Shiva Gautama Christ-chan, the one true God, decided Gage still had unfinished business down here on Shit Outta Luck 3, because after a few minutes of twitching on the ground, he got up, looked around, and thought, well, now's a good time as any for my yearly checkup. According to the doctor he went to,
Oh my god, he literally got up and was able to walk? How is that possible? It went through his brain. Ugh.
Gage was retelling the story of what happened. He suddenly started vomiting all over the place, the effort of which, and I quote, pushed out about half of the brain, which fell upon the floor. He didn't say what they did with it after. I picture his dog just running
can't cover
over
my
and
face 'cause it ruins my model.
down, being plagued with the memories of a human railroad worker for the rest of his life. In the months following, Gage made a near complete recovery, physically anyway. He did lose a bit of his mind, which caused him to lose his mind.
It literally fell out of his head.
Hardworking citizen. His untimely brain blast transformed him into an angry, incoherent drunkard, mumbling, quote, the grossest profanity whenever he deemed fit, and showing
he has
little
to be
no
in
regard
so
for
much
human
pain
life whatsoever. Naturally, he was fired from his job at the railroad, so Gage ended up wandering the earth, earning money any way he could. For a while, he hung out at Barnum's American Museum in New York City, basically making an exhibit of himself, standing there with a tamping iron like, "Hi, this went through my brain. Bye." He later had a stint as a farmhand in California and a stagecoach driver in Chile,
at least he's getting his coin. He has to make a living somehow.
Depth perception drive a vehicle, but whatever. Over time, he actually became a lot more functional until finally, 10 years later, when his brain remembered, oh yeah, I shouldn't exist, leading to Gage having a bunch of seizures and dying at age 36. A similar story happened with one Ron Hunt in 2003.
That's terrible.
He was an American construction worker who was drilling a hole above his head when the ladder he was standing on decided to give way, leading to Hunt landing face down on a 5-inch auger drill bit. The drill went straight through his left eye and out the back of his skull.
I don't want to look at the picture.
1.5 inches
I don't want to look. I don't want to look.
The actual X-ray that doctors took when Hunt arrived at the hospital. Miraculously, the drill ended up just kind of pushing his brain out of the way, leading to no cognitive impairment whatsoever.
Well, that's kind of good.
Hunt was perfectly lucid while the doctors tried to figure out the best way to take the thing out of his head. Initially, they considered cutting it out. So eventually, they decided to literally just unscrew it from his head. Like, all right, hold him still now. Oh, you fucking MILF. Lefty Lucy. Does that mean the top or the bottom? What? It's a rotating circle. And
too much.
Okay, you hold on for 1 sec. Look.
Why do I keep choosing the gross one?
One way the bottom. So which? Clearly the one on top. Why? Tell me why. Why clearly? Same reason north is up on the map. It's just common practice. All right, well, sorry for not subscribing to your Eurocentric propaganda, Dan, you soggy cunt. Anyway, what were we doing? If you think Hunt was just a little too lucky with his incident, don't worry. According to Snopes, he was self-employed and didn't have insurance. So while the accident didn't ruin his life, you can sleep easy knowing that hundreds of thousands of dollars of medical bills and rehabilitation costs probably did. Our next tale revolves around Greg Rasmussen, a British-born animal conservationist who was studying wildlife in Zimbabwe. One day, he got reports of a highly endangered rhino being spotted in the area.
Oh fuck,
so
he
Greg
better
took
not
to
go
the
get
skies
it.
in a
Oh, so he's gonna go head to it right away.
Fate was looking down at Greg that day, and after a moment, it said, "No, rhino must die." And it just walked out of nowhere, sending Greg into a tailspin, crash landing right in the middle of the untamed African bush. When Greg woke up, he found that his legs looked like used-up tubes of toothpaste, so he was essentially trapped right where he was. Arguably worse than that was the fact that Greg was dehydrated before he even took off, hoping to get water at his destination. And just when things looked like they couldn't get any worse, they got worse. A group of elephants showed up and started harassing and straight up stampeding at Greg. With no other option, he starts banging on the wreckage as hard as he could. The elephants went and decided to leave him alone. He was also approached by a pack of hyenas and actual lionesses on the hunt. But fortunately, animals are all morons, so the same trick worked on them too. Greg spent an entire day and night pinned under the wreckage, fighting off wildlife, severe dehydration, and extreme temperatures before finally being rescued the next morning. Incredibly, after over 100 operations, doctors managed to get Greggy's leggies up and running again. Although he was now 3 inches shorter, which is probably for the best, because now they can just stick the keys to the plane on top of the fridge so he never has another incident like this again. So moral of the story, us humans are resilient creatures who will do anything in our power to survive. And just as Greg Rasmussen banged on his destroyed plane to ward off predators in Zimbabwe, you should bang on your keyboard right now to ward off predators online. With that, in this day and age, cybersecurity and privacy have never been more important, and only a select few people have the time, energy, and know-how to keep
that was a good
data as safe
segue.
as humanly possible.
He's very good
With
at this.
Dashlane, you can take all your passwords and autofill data across all your devices and use the power of encryption to keep them out of the hands of lowly hackers. PC, Mac, iOS, Android, Chrome, Safari, Abacus, doesn't matter.
Abacus.
Dashlane's got your back. No, Dashlane does not offer services for rudimentary mechanical calculators. Something especially cool is that you can actually change your passwords right in Dashlane without that whole chain of, okay, reset. Which email? Who knows? What's my favorite beverage? Well, I know 14-year-old me didn't say whiskey sour, so I guess I'm screwed. Dashlane Premium even comes with a VPN, so now you can take full advantage of unsecured Wi-Fi without your Neopets ever falling into the greasy hands of the lowlifes that Comfort Inn. So please, go to dashlane.com/salmonella to try Dashlane for free today. Also, the first 200 people to use the promo code...
the rest is just this ad. Okay, that video was disturbing. Oh my god, I did not... You cannot... Oh my god, I can't even form a sentence about it. That's the problem. Like, if you told me those stories, I would not believe that these guys have survived. But the fact that there are people that survive these kind of things, it just tells you how amazing the human body is and the human spirit is and how people could overcome a lot of things. Is it a good thing that they lived the rest of their lives in pain? Probably not. But it is very interesting to see what the body can do. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.